for us.
The South African Communist Party is today commemorating the 20th anniversary of Chris Hani's assassination. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to give the main address at the wreath-laying ceremony at the Thomas Titus Memorial Park in Ekurhuleni, east of Johannesburg this morning. Our political reporter Mzwandile Mbeje is there and we cross live to him now. Mzwandile, these wreath-laying ceremonies are usually a very somber moment. Give us a sense of the mood today.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Desiree. Perhaps a very quick correction there. The president of the ANC and the country is no longer expected to be here. And I think in his stead, Nathi Mthethwa, the Minister of Arts and Culture, will deliver that address. And of course, as you have said, these are generally activities really that are characterized by somber moods. But you'd know this is a political event in many ways. So you would expect people really from different parties in the form of the alliance, the ANC and the SACP and perhaps SANCO to be here. And of course, they would always sing those revolutionary songs. But perhaps, Desiree, with me is the First General Secretary of the SACP, Solly Mapaila, who will just give us a quick update into what is going to be happening and then who is going to be here and what other issues we can expect. Mr. Mapaila, so you're here, and then this is the annual event, 26th anniversary of the death of Chris Hani.
Yes, this is a very important occasion for us when we remember the great revolutionary martyr of our country, Comrade Chris Hani, who gave us April 27 on behalf of all the martyrs of our country, that today we celebrate as Freedom Day. So every other time when we accompany the family to come here to pay respect on his anniversary, we feel quite blessed, and we invite all South Africans to be with us and also to mobilize our society at this point in time to appreciate the fact that our freedom did not come for free. Many of our combatants died in the struggle for national liberation, and Chris Hani was one of the most senior leaders who was assassinated by right-wingers who did not want a democratic South Africa. So therefore, this year will also be reminding our people about the significance of May 8, in which we are going to vote as South Africans, and to ask them that in the memory of Comrade Chris, to continue this legacy of the liberation struggle, we should be able to vote for the African National Congress and consolidate the gains of our democracy in his memory.
Looking at the state of affairs of our country right now, I know we can't perhaps speak for the dead, but do you think he would be happy or he would be depressed or he'd be unhappy about the current state of affairs of our country, knowing what is it that he wanted?
I would say that all revolutionaries are optimists. They look at every pertaining conditions to abstract what is important, what is beneficial to the people. And on that particular basis, they are able to appreciate that every other moment, we should be able to drive it towards the interests of the working class and the poor. So in that case, I think if Comrade Chris was alive, he would have mixed feelings. The first thing is that he will definitely appreciate the fact that this country built 4.7 million houses for the poor. Before he died, he led a campaign in the SACP called the Triple H campaign: health, hunger, housing, to fight against hunger for health, as well as to make sure that our people have houses. So to build 4.7 million houses and give them to the poor, which has never been done anywhere else in the world, it's a significant thing. He will be elated by that. But of course, and many other achievements in education, in a rollout of sanitation and electricity and so forth. But he will be disappointed at the state of the organization where it is. We are now embarking on a process of organizational renewal, and that particular process, we hope, will cleanse the movement of sins of incumbency, of patronage, of corruption, of all those things that are associated with wrongdoing, which are not the value system of the ANC itself or the movement as a whole. All of us are committed to that, and President Ramaphosa is leading the renewal process inside our alliance and through the ANC in that regard. So for that matter, he will also be excited of the leadership intervention in renewing the organization itself.
Talking about the renewal, we saw last night people wearing ANC T-shirts disrupt a book launch, and a statement from the Youth League from the Free State saying tonight there will be a banning ceremony of the book of Peter Maiberg, who's been writing about Ekurhuleni. As the SACP, what's your view?
Well, we don't agree with banning of books. In fact, it's unintellectual. Of course, the last time we remember the King with the Double Agenda, a book written by Mzwandile Mbeje about exposing the reality of Prince Gachabutheles. And there was a massive process to buy as many books as possible and to dump them so that they were not available to the people. So we do not agree with that. Nonetheless, I do not necessarily agree with the book in many of its content. For instance, it's a book that is laced with many allegations, non-factual and so forth. And I think on the basis that certain things have not been taken to court as part of newspaper clippings that are now in the book. So if you like, it's a well-written book, but it's a book written as a newspaper with allegations. You either confirm or not confirm whether you've done this or not done that. And I think it sets a very wrong precedent for book writing in the future. But nonetheless, I think the most important thing is that Comrade Ace has indicated that he's taken legal action in that regard, and he'll be able to consult his lawyers as he indicated publicly, and we hope he will take that step as soon as possible so that he can clear his name.
So what do we expect to happen here now? The function is about to get underway.
Well, the program, the SACP General Secretary Comrade Blade will give the SACP's main message, and alliance components, Comrade Ace on behalf of the ANC, Comrade Bekin Chalinchali, General Secretary of COSATU on behalf of COSATU, we have Comrade KB Mapatso from MKMVA, and then we have the government program, the mayor, the minister, of course the family of Comrade Chris Hani. They are here, they will also say a few words.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
There was the first General Secretary there of the SACP, Solima Paila, basically giving us a taste of what is to happen. Remember, today is the 26th anniversary of the death of Chris Hani. This day in 1993, not far from where we are, he was gunned down, and we know that one of those people who pulled the trigger is behind bars. For several years he's been trying to get a parole, but up to this far he has not been successful. Desiree?
Thank you so much, Mzwandile Mbeje. That killing of Chris Hani proved such a turning point for the country. The SACP commemorating the 26th anniversary of Chris Hani's assassination.